Hello. For Western Europe, there's low after low after low queuing up in the Atlantic to come pushing in this week. That will mean it's often breezy, if not windy here. There'll be spells of rain, but we're also going to pick up a very mild westerly or southwesterly airstream. So temperatures in many areas will sit well above average through the days ahead. In contrast, high pressure is locked in place across the northeast of Europe, cold air extending across from western Russia all the way into Scandinavia. Temperatures a little bit below average for the likes of Budapest and Bucharest on Tuesday. Further south, we're still seeing the mid-teens across Greece and Turkey, but there will be some wet weather around here. Some sunshine for Sardinia, for Corsica, the Balearics and much of Iberia on Tuesday, but looking wet for France, the Low Countries, and we'll see some snow, I think, as we see a frontal system bumping into colder air across southern Sweden and Norway. And then in comes our next low for Wednesday. More wet weather, more windy weather across the UK, rain getting down into the Alps, potentially turning to snow, of course, across the highest ground. But generally, with the arrival of that rainfall, some very mild air pulling in as well. So highs of 15, 16 degrees for the likes of London and Paris in the days ahead. We hold on to the cold, though, further east for Moscow, Kiev and Helsinki. Hello. To start the week, we've seen a pretty deep area of low pressure pushing across South Africa, dropping some heavy rain to areas in its path. It'll pull away, though, from the Eastern Cape on Tuesday. Drier conditions following on, but quite a southerly wind set up behind that low, pulling unseasonably warm air as far south as parts of Mozambique, Zambia and Zimbabwe. So above average temperatures for some here through the days ahead, brightening across the Eastern Cape of South Africa, but locally still the chance of some sharper showers. To the north of the continent, a big area of high pressure, the eastern flank of that pulling some unseasonably cool air into parts of Egypt as far south as northern Sudan. Looking at some sunshine for Cape Town through the days ahead. A lot of fine weather to come for Khartoum and for Casablanca, but a drop off in temperatures here to just 18 degrees briefly on Wednesday. Working across towards the Middle East, we'll see this weather front sliding its way further southeastwards in the coming days. And as it does so, I think we'll put a little bit more moisture into it off the Red Sea that will drop some showers across central Saudi Arabia. Wednesday, Thursday, I think we had in line for some rainfall, and the whole frontal system will continue to drift its way eastwards as we progress through the week, eventually bringing rain towards Muscat and Dubai. Hello. The Bahia region of eastern Brazil has been very badly hit by flooding in recent days. The satellite image shows thick clouds still covering this part of the country at the moment, and unfortunately the forecast looks set to bring yet more heavy rain through this eastern region of Brazil throughout the week ahead, to the fact that we could see up to 200 millimetres or maybe around 10 inches of rain falling in some locations before the week is out. The showers across the Amazon basin in general look pretty lively for the week ahead as well. You can see the rain stretches as far south as Florianopolis across eastern Brazil. Further south, actually some unseasonably warm air in place across Uruguay, Paraguay, northern reaches of Chile and northern Argentina. Temperatures continuing to creep up, really probably peaking Wednesday or Thursday in the likes of Buenos Aires and Montevideo. More heavy rain though, as I said, continuing across eastern Brazil. For Central America and the Caribbean, a relatively quiet story at the moment, but there will still be some showers coming in off the Caribbean, particularly to coastal reaches of Nicaragua all the way down to Panama. These probably will be our wettest spots here in the days ahead. Overall, though, a lot of sunshine, as you can see from our outlooks across the region in the next 5 days. Hello. Some marked temperature contrasts over North America at the moment, and we expect them to get bigger through the days ahead. A lot of cold air sinking its way south in the west. Temperatures building across the deep south as we pick up a southerly airstream off the Gulf of Mexico. Between the two air masses, we will see obviously frontal systems, and they could mean some heavy snow across the Sierras and the Cascades through the early part of this week, and some heavier snow pushing up across the northern plains towards the Midwest and affecting northern reaches of the Great Lakes. We are just going to see through the course of this week low after low coming into the Pacific coast. Some snow will work its way into British Columbia again through Tuesday. We'll see some wintry weather, I think, getting into Washington State, some showers for San Francisco, and cold air becoming very dominant across the western side of Canada and the US through the days ahead. Some showers reaching as far south as Los Angeles on Wednesday. Further east, and we will see some wintry weather extending across eventually into Ontario and Quebec through to the east coast of Canada. Likely to be rain across the southern half of the Great Lakes. And then there's that southerly airstream building humidity across the deep south. We'll also see the temperatures rising, and eventually I think we will see some heavy thunderstorms breaking out in some areas. Hello. On our latest satellite imagery across India, the Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea, there's plenty of clear sky to be found. But this area of cloud now just emerging to the north of the Arabian Sea looks like it will continue to develop through the next 24 to 48 hours, eventually transferring some pretty heavy showers across parts of northern India, and particularly for the likes of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. I think we won't see the rain really reaching as far north as Delhi. Actually, across northern India, we're anticipating some cooler air sinking in through the next couple of days, and we'll see our temperatures staying around where they are at the moment across the stands. I think some of that colder air, they're just pushing down into northern Pakistan, across into northern India, and eventually towards Nepal, but not exceptionally cold across the stands currently. Temperatures perhaps just slightly below average in some spots for the time of year. A lot of fine weather across southern India for the Maldives and Sri Lanka on Tuesday, but we are anticipating some heavier showers getting into eastern India later on in the week. This wet weather here will push across Nepal and then eventually move away. Plenty of sunshine to come for Mumbai, for Dhaka and Islamabad in the days ahead. Showers, though, returning to Colombo, and those will be tied in with the area of rain that will also stretch across towards Chennai later in the week. Hello. In our latest satellite imagery, you can see masses of clouds streaming across Indonesia and into the Philippines. More heavy showers to come here in the days ahead. We're also, though, expecting some heavier rain to push across towards Vietnam, particularly for coastal regions. Could see a couple of 100 millimetres of rain falling here through the week. In contrast, it's much drier and it's much quieter across eastern China, the Korean Peninsula and for Japan. Big area of high pressure here. Relatively mild through the earliest days of the week, but colder air will stretch across from the west from Wednesday onwards, and we will see our temperatures coming down there. You see that heavier rain beginning to target Vietnam through Tuesday. So actually quite a lot of sunshine to come for Beijing in the days ahead, but temperatures down to just 3 or 4 degrees by Friday and Saturday. That's actually still around average for the time of year, but colder than it has been of late. Quite a deep area of low pressure building now in the Gulf of Carpentaria will push across towards the Cape York Peninsula and sweep heavy rain into northern Queensland on Wednesday. Heat across Western Australia will push through the interior down into the southeast. It's going to become quieter, though, for New Zealand by Wednesday as this frontal system pulls away eastwards. We should see a lot of dry weather with some sunny spells, but looking very wet and windy for Cairns in the short term. Temperatures building close to 40 for Adelaide in the days ahead.